Now, for those who are not familiar with you, you have covered some astounding topics. In fact, some of the things...
Oh, astounding. Yeah, right.
Oh, yes, absolutely. In fact, some of the things that you've covered have become talking points. One of them is to do with Paul McCartney, which we're going to talk about shortly.
Absolutely, yeah, right. That is my bestseller, Sonia.
Go on, show it.
Most of the books are fairly marginal, but this has got loads of Amazon reviews, and people enjoy it, you know. And it's the ultimate rock and roll conspiracy theory, you know. I mean, I believe in it, obviously, because I wrote the book. But I think even if you don't, it will give you a whole new interest in those classic Beatles songs and the turmoil that was really going on in the band, the strange, unbelievable thing that seems to have happened.
So your theory, your understanding is that the Paul McCartney today is not the original Paul McCartney, correct?
Well, no, he's a different guy. Wonderful genius, amazing genius. In fact, in his book, he claimed that he was much better Paul McCartney than the original one. But he is a versatile genius. He's quite a bigger fellow and much more intellectual, but he can never be adorable like the original Paul was.
So what happened to the original, Nick, without giving away too much of your book?
Well, there's different layers of conspiracy theory and stories here, isn't there? I mean, the classic story is that he drove too fast in his Aston Martin car and he had a crash. He was age 24, and Brian Epstein had to keep the show going. This was such a massive industry for Britain. It was the band all over the world, and the show had to go on. And so Brian Epstein had to quickly find this replacement and suppress any news about the crash. And so for years after that, we're talking about September 66, suddenly the Beatles could never sell another ticket, the world's #1 rock and roll band. And that for 3 years, that they did not appear they could never perform in public, and they just produced studio albums, you know. It was all done in the studio because it was felt the new guy didn't quite look like the old Paul. But I think people have forgot. It still doesn't look like the old Paul, but people have forgotten what the old Paul looks like, in my view.
Well, it's really interesting because when you first came out with this, obviously, it sounded absolutely insane to some people, right?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, it did, and probably still does to some people as well. But we now live in a world where the veil is increasingly falling. We are increasingly seeing how many lies have been told to us, that there are big agendas all around us, that we are essentially in some sort of prison, and it is increasing on us. And I think
you're absolutely right, Sonia. I totally agree with you. Yeah.
We're in different times.
It's time to wake up with Sonia Poulton.